Hello class, I created this video to help with problems 13 and 14 from the homework. So the first thing we are given is a regression equation, and it looks like we're trying to determine if there's a relation between the age difference between husbands and wives, I guess that would be Y, and the percent of the country that's literate, that would be X. So it says for every increase, so think of the slope as change in Y over change in X. So every increase in literacy rate would result in a decrease in age difference. And the age difference would fall by 0.0503, right? I'm getting that value from here, right? So as the literacy rate goes up, the age difference will fall. Okay, that's an interesting study. I check answer, I get the good job. Next, does it make sense to interpret the y-intercept? Well, remember, the y-intercept is found for values of x that equals 0, right? We sub in 0 for x, solve for y, but my model is only good for values between 25 and 100. So the y-intercept does not make sense because the x value of 0 is outside the scope of the model. Let's try it. I press check answer. We get the nice work. Next, it says predicted age difference if the literacy rate is 29. So I'm going to insert 29 into X, and let's type this equation just as we see it, negative 0.0503, and I put in 29% for the literacy rate, plus 6.9. So really, I'm just using this equation, but I'm subbing in 29 to X. I press enter, and we round one decimal place, so I get 5.4. I check answer, looking good. Next, okay, would it make sense to use this model to predict the age difference if the literacy rate is 19%? And the answer is going to be no, because 19 is outside of 25 to 100. Check answer, great. And then finally, let's see, we have a literacy rate of 97%. So I'm going to change this 29 to 97. And I press enter. And it looks like my change would be 2.02. And so I'm going to enter this here. Again, our value was 2 point, and it says round to one decimal place. So I'm going to enter 2.0. And we check the answer. And we get the excellent. So the 1 year, right, is what we were given, is below the 2. So we would say it's below the average. That was question 13. We take a quick look at number 14. So it says find the least squares regression given this data, and it looks like the number of days absent versus the grade you receive on your final exam score. So I click on here to open up my data. I'll open this data in StatCrunch, and the steps are stat, linear regression, simple. My X is number of absences, Y is your final exam score, I compute, and it looks like my slope, and we have to go 3 decimal places, so my slope, did I go 3 decimal places? I did not, there we go. All right, so that's my slope, and then my y-intercept was here. So I'll enter that here, and then I'll press check answer, and we get the fantastic. Next, it says interpret the slope and y-intercept if appropriate. So I'm thinking for every additional absence, a student's exam score drops by 2.830 points. The average for someone who misses no classes, so I'd substitute a 0 in for X, and I'm left with this 88.796. Check answer, we get the well done. Predict the final exam score for someone who misses 5 classes. So I have to enter 5 into x over here. So let me just type that in. So when I replace this x with 5, I end up with 74.65. I round it up because it says go 2 decimal places. I check my answer. I get the good job. Compute the residual. Remember, so that's observed minus actual, right? Or observed over prediction. So the observed was 74.1. So I'm going to type in my 74.1, right? That's coming from here. This is the observed for 5 absences. Minus the predicted was 74.65. Right? 74.65 is what we predicted. So the residual is negative 0.55. I check my answer. We get the fantastic. And then it's going to be below. Is the final exam above or below the average for this number of absences? I put below, right? I get a negative residual. That's a hint. And it says draw the scatter diagram. So if I go back to my StatCrunch, you see down here there's an arrow. That takes me to my scatter plot. I can go back and forth by clicking these buttons. So it looks like we kind of have a relatively straight line. As we get to the bottom of the line, 2 points are above, 1 is below. So let's see if we can find something that looks like that. This letter C could be it. I just want to take another quick peek. Let's take a quick peek. Yeah, I'm thinking letter C looks probably the best. I might have to blow this up a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to go with letter C. Let's check answer. Hey, we get the great job. And then the last question, it says, would it be reasonable to use the least squares regression to predict someone who's missed 15 classes? And I think our model only went out to 10 classes. Right, yeah, from 1 to 10. So 15 would be outside of our scope. So I'm going to click no. Check answer. And we get the fantastic. So I hope that helps for problems 13 and 14. Thank you for watching.